Welcome to Infinite Insights, a collection from the edge of consciousness, where bliss and shadow meet and everything in between becomes sacred. Every experience is a teacher, every silence an awakening. Are you ready to listen? Morning light spilled across my room like a quiet promise. I wanted peace, nothing more. Just a grounding session to start the day, to remind myself where I stood in this endless dance between earth and ether. I stated my intention clearly, the way I always do, to find my center. I opened the window. The wind was gentle, carrying the scent of wet soil and early sun. Just outside, a small tree swayed softly, leaves shimmering like green whispers. The sunlight kissed my skin. I stretched out across my bed on my stomach, facing the window, allowing the warmth to lull me into stillness. My mind began to quiet. I imagined the tree's roots spreading into the soil, deep, certain, unwavering, and in that imagery, I found my grounding. I drew its stability into me, letting it anchor my wandering thoughts. Slowly, the edges of consciousness began to blur. I slipped not into sleep, not into awareness, but into that thin, fragile space that exists between the two. I've lived with sleep paralysis most of my life. The stillness, the presence, the immobility, it used to terrify me, but over time I learned to recognize it as a crossing, a veil, not a trap. But this time was different. I was dreaming, I knew that much. But I was also awake inside the dream, fully lucid, watching myself breathe, hearing the faint hum of morning beyond the glass. I tried to move, to blink, to speak, but the world around me was frozen in perfect stillness. I could feel my body, the softness of the bed beneath me, the rhythm of my heartbeat, the cool breeze on my cheek, and yet I couldn't move an inch. Then I woke. At least, I thought I did. I opened my eyes, expecting to rise, but I was still there, lying across the bed, facing the same window, the same sunlight, the same small tree. I tried again. Another breath, another awakening, and again, I was back. I was caught in a loop, waking up only to realize I was still dreaming, still paralyzed, still staring at that same window. My mind screamed, but my body would not obey. Each attempt to escape brought me back to the same scene, over and over, a living reflection of fear. And then, the energy shifted. It began as a subtle vibration in the air, a ripple of something unseen brushing the edges of awareness. The sound of a door creaking open, my breath caught. None of my doors make that sound. Something was in the room with me. The presence was heavy, immense like gravity condensed into form. I could feel it pressing against my back, pinning me deeper into the mattress. The pressure grew until it was difficult to breathe. This was no dream. It was the kind of fear that erases thought, the kind that makes your soul tremble in its casing. Every instinct screamed to move, to fight, to pray, but nothing came. I was trapped in the body of a statue, listening to the silence between heartbeats. Then the weight grew denser, closer, as though the presence was leaning in, curious, aware that I was aware. I thought, please, don't let this be happening. The moment stretched into eternity. I don't know how long I lay there, seconds, hours, a lifetime before. At last, I woke. I sat up, gasping, the sound of my own breath breaking the silence. I stumbled from the bed, leaving the room in a rush, my heart pounding against my ribs like a trapped bird. I leaned against the wall outside, eyes closed, whispering silent gratitude that it was finally over. Then I opened my eyes and I was still lying on the bed, staring out the window. Terror seized me completely. The layers of reality folded over each other like a cruel mirage. I couldn't tell what was dream and what was waking. All I could do was beg silently for the moment to end. I noticed distantly the sound of my alarm cutting through the air, sharp, shrill, and real, awareness returning full force. I was free. The clock read 2 p.m. Only 20 minutes had passed. But what I experienced felt like an eternity trapped between worlds. When I could finally think clearly, I sat on the floor, and tried to make sense of it. I knew the difference between lucid dreaming and sleep paralysis. I had lived on both sides of that veil before, but this was something deeper, something ancient. It felt like a warning. Not an attack, not a punishment, but a clear message. Protect your spirit. I had opened myself that morning without protection, without grounding my energy properly. In my innocence, I reached into the subtle realms unguarded. And when you open your awareness without boundaries, you invite everything. That day changed me. I didn't meditate for years after. The fear lingered not just of the paralysis, but of what existed beyond it. Yet even now, I know that experience was not meant to destroy me. It was meant to prepare me, to remind me that fear itself can be the greatest teacher, because what we fear most, we give power to, and what we face, we reclaim. There is a space between dreaming and waking, a mirror of the soul's courage. Fear guards the doorway to deeper knowing, but it also protects the unready. I learned that day that not every calling of the unseen should be answered without discernment. Some lessons require armor made of presence, clarity, and light. What terrified me then was not evil, it was truth, unfiltered and immense, waiting for me to grow brave enough to meet it. As this journey comes to a close, may the story linger in the quiet corners of your being. This moment ends, but its essence does not. Every insight, every shadow, every breath, all are reflections of the same vast awareness that lives within you. Every vision, every whisper of emotion has been a mirror guiding you deeper into your own truth. The energy you've touched, the questions you've lived through will continue to echo softly in your awareness. What was meant for you will remain. Remember, these experiences are not destinations, but doors. Thank you for sharing this inner space with me, for daring to journey beyond the surface. May peace find you in every unfolding moment. Remain open, aware, and infinitely becoming. Until our paths cross again in another insight, may your light continue to meet itself in every experience.